Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Rad from Radko Tarot, and in this whole video we're going to look into Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, and as well, of course, Scorpio Rising with the general tarot reading July 5th up until July 11th, 2021. And if you don't want to miss a free reading contest as well, me going live here on my YouTube channel, make sure you do subscribe and as well hit the notification bell. And also, if you are interested in a personal reading with me, or if you do want to take my tarot classes, checking out the description down below is going to give you a link to my website where you can view and purchase either or both of these services. So with that being set aside, moving straight away to the Scorpio reading of the week, and the first card we do have as a Scorpio, that is going to be the Tower, followed by the Prince of Swords. Moving next, what we do have, that is going to be the Wheel of Fortune, the third one. Fourth card of our spread, that is going to be the Page of Swords. And the last card here that we do have, that is going to be the Aeon. So it will be a bit of a rough week for us. Let me show you the cards one more time here. Those 5 cards. It's going to be a little bit of a rough week, and it isn't because we are to face some kind of like an overwhelming challenges or anything like this. It will be an overwhelming week. It is because things are not going to go entirely our way, or I will say it that way, we will have to step out of our comfort zone and deal with some kind of a transformation change, or that comes up with a bit of a unwanted circumstances, unwanted symptoms. And the mark of this transformation or of this change here, that is going to be the Tower card, of course, the very first one of our spread. And when the Tower card manifests, things are going out of the way. When the Tower card manifests, something quite unexpected happens. As a major arcana, it could literally relate to anything. For example, in my private career and private consultations, very often that card comes up as a, and that depends on the question, of course. It comes as a unplanned pregnancy. It may come up as well as a crash. Say you are in a very blossomous relationship and you love your partner, but suddenly somebody shows up and you just can't stop yourself. You know, it's such kind of a circumstances and symptoms we should expect at the very early stages of that week, that are gonna throw us out and are gonna make us do things in a different way that we did not done up until this point, way that we are not used to up until this point. As the Tower comes with the unpleasant circumstances and unpleasant symptoms, its reason, or rather like its purpose, it's to nurture and cleanse our life. It simply comes about so we can grow, but growing through, it's not even through destruction, it's more like a reshuffling our beliefs and reshuffling as well our day-to-day routine also. And right after that stunning start, if I may say it that way, this individual comes up here. Now, Knight of Swords, these people, they do have a very sharp intellectual ability. They're very keen when it comes to making up decisions, and that is going to be their purpose into our lives or into our environment here of the Knight of Swords. Their purpose is to help us make a decision how we are going to tackle with that new environment we are thrown into by the way that we are going to tackle it, to be simultaneously a way that makes sense and a way that doesn't go against our emotions and doesn't go against our feelings. That is because when the Tower card hits, I don't care which sign you are, it just the emotional turmoil, the one that one goes through, it's pretty overwhelming. And here the Knights of Swords, its purpose is to stabilize that emotional turmoil and to define purpose, to help us define purpose for us moving forward. The accompanied card of the Knight of Swords, that is going to be the Sun card. So we can say that that's rather quite of a faithful companion of ours, quite of a good friend of ours, and for one or another reason their happiness is tied to our happiness. When we are miserable, they are miserable as well. When we are happy, they are happy. So if you do have wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, most likely that's them. Right after the step up of this Knight of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune takes place for us. And when the Wheel of Fortune manifests, this is where the things are truly takes off, and we are finding that way or a path, if you will, to deal with those circumstances that we did not expect it at all. And Wheel of Fortune manifests through seemingly random events, seemingly random circumstances as well, but as they manifest, as they cluster, they do give us the option to pretty much push through it. Sometimes you can see the Wheel of Fortune as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to pretty much make that drastic change into your life, a change for the better. In a practical level, Wheel of Fortune pretty much gives you options available. It gives you a lot of dynamic into your career, with the luxury to choose which endeavor you are going to involve yourself into, or which job to choose. In terms of a relationship or looking for love, the Wheel of Fortune, it is when you do have many options available as well, and it is up to you which one you want to entitle yourself to. But in the grand scheme of things, it is just, we can see that the Wheel of Fortune here as one being found the way to push through the tower. And these two cards and one more moving forward into the reading, they do represent change, and from a turmoilish type of a transformation and change here into the Wheel of Fortune. Now the change is more channeled, more narrowed, if I may say it that way. And right after that, we do have another person that manifests into our lives. Now that is a Page of Swords, and that is a person which is gonna happen to be quite of an unexpected source of help of ours. Now it's a bit difficult or complex to explain it here, but what happens it is that when these circumstances kind of like throw us into the unknown, we will need to look at the world in a very different way, in a very different perspective. And the perspective that this person here, this individual, Page of Swords, which by the way could be somebody you know, or it could be somebody brand new as well, is seeing the world as well. And for them, they did not have by this point somebody who can understand them, but now we can understand them. And that cooperation with them, what is going to do is, like I said, it will serve like a very unexpected source of help to ours, and also is gonna help us to clean up the unnecessary people and as well the unnecessary endeavors into our lives. The accompanied card here, that is going to be Temperance, and the Page of Swords will it's not even help us, but it's going to be the necessary ingredients, so we do find the right measures and the correct approach toward our situation, which, like I said, is going to be abnormal, awkward for throughout the week. But here we are now getting the hang of it. Here we now know what we need to do, and we are going to find the so-called middle path toward resolving or succeeding into the enterprise itself. And at the end, we do the week here ends for us, Scorpio, with the judgment card. Yeah. And Judgment is where everything now starts making sense. That is what Judgment represents, when the shaft falls within the hub, when the pieces of the puzzle pretty much clicks together. And beforehand, throughout the week, if we were reluctant to make any kind of decision, definitive decision, that is, how we are to proceed with these unpleasant symptom circumstances, and even what was the purpose, what was the reason that we have to experience that thing, and what is going to come up from it at all. We now, with the judgment at the end of the week here, we are going to know everything, like what we gotta do, which option we should take, where these circumstances lead us to, how the endeavor is going to contribute for our life in general, and were that change necessary. Yes, it was necessary. I want to take a few moments here to explain a little bit more the Tower card. Tower, it stands for everything we built, or everything you have built. And suddenly a flash of insight, or a bolt of energy, which is defined by the endeavor itself, and it's gone. Everything you have built, we have built, gone. And we have to rebuild it again from the remnants of the ashes. That happens because the tower, as it is built before it was brought down, cannot be augmented, I will say it that way. It cannot be extended any further. And for that reason, in order one to grow, it needs to redo everything in a different fashion. So with that being said, Scorpio, this was our weekly general tarot reading, guys, July 5th up until July 11th, 2021. Hopefully you do enjoy it and you do liked it. I hope we are going to traverse this rather week of a wake-up call, or a week of awakening, if I may say it that way, with a much better bear than under normal circumstances, and we're going to see each other around. Until then, bye.